Hey friends, just sitting here in my office and thought I'd just record a quick video for you on the fourth anniversary of the full scale invasion that started in February 24th, 2022. It's really hard to believe this. 4 years have gone by already. It's changed our lives in a big way. And I just got done with a meeting with some of the guys, some of the pastors that we're working with here. We prayed for Ukraine. Today is actually the um, prayer for Ukraine day. So I want to encourage you to pray for Ukraine today and just contemplating some of the things that God has done over these 4 years and also contemplating what, how's this war going to end? That's probably the biggest question that I get is how is this war going to end? But going back to just these past 4 years, as I think back over these past 4 years, some of the tragedy and the losses are just unbelievable. The numbers are not something that I can really comprehend. And I know this is not the biggest war that's ever happened or anything, but it is one of the biggest ones that's been in the last several decades since World War II. And I don't think that we can comprehend very well when we talk about over a million Russian losses or 500,000 Ukrainian losses, uh, or the number of homes that have just been destroyed or villages or towns. We don't think well in those terms. We can see the numbers. The only thing that we can comprehend is when it touches us personally. And for every single Ukrainian, this war has touched personally in some way, whether it is a son or a father or a sister or a mother, or maybe they had to flee their home or they lost their home or something was damaged. And so, for us, one of the biggest, tragedies was when we lost our neighbors and friends from one of our churches that we ministered with here in Odessa back in March of 2024. So we're coming up on 2 years since that loss, when the Shahed drone flew right over our house, hit their apartment building, took down 9 floors of that apartment building. I think that was, very personal for us when that loss happened. Partly because it was just like our neighbors, it was just down the street, because it was connected with a church that I've known for over 30 years. It was the pastor's daughter. It was his grandson. It was an apartment that I'd been in before, and so when I think back to losses, I think to those personal things, or the time. Actually, it was summer 2024 too, when we were in Kherson and the Russians tried to drop ordnance on our van while we were driving. So those individual memories of things that very closely happened to us, I think, are some of the most personal and sometimes most painful. But also, I think through every moment like that, we see that God strengthens our faith, and we can see God working through them. Sometimes in the way that He protects, but sometimes He doesn't always protect our physical life, because obviously our friends have been injured or killed in this war. But yet, even in that, we see how God works to bring glory to Himself. And so, as I sit back and just try to comprehend 4 years of all full scale war, I realize that I can't comprehend everything that's going on. But if I can do something, I can focus on those individual tragedies and the way that I can personally see how God is working through them. And so, if I have any, I guess, advice or encouragement for you as we think about these 4 years, is think about those people that maybe personally that are in Ukraine, or maybe they're refugees that are living near you, and do your part to personally lift them up, encourage them, pray for them, support them, whatever you can do, because those things do make a difference. I know they've made a difference in our lives personally. People that have even just told us that they're praying for us, have maybe in other ways supported us. Um, those are significant. And as far as what will happen to Ukraine, I think I very quickly, when this war began, I stopped trying to make predictions. We're really bad at predicting what will happen in the future. We're very bad at predicting what will happen in wartime. Ukraine could lose. I hope it won't. It could. It could lose very badly. Ukraine could win, or something in between. My feeling is probably something in between, but I don't know. So instead of making predictions, I choose to focus on the things that I know will happen. And what do I know will happen? No matter what Russia does, no matter what Ukraine does, no matter what China does or Mexico, right? Seems like our world is in upheaval. The victory is the Lord's. And that is what gives me hope and motivation throughout all of this. That I know that nothing I do here is really in vain, right? When I share the love of Christ, when I encourage those who are downtrodden, when I give physical help to them, none of those things are in vain, because the reason that I'm doing that, the reason that we do these things, is because of our hope in Jesus Christ. And that is not a vain hope. So I want to encourage you not to lose hope. We've been living through war for 4 years. I never thought that I would have to live through any war, not and not to mention 4 years. But I can tell you, our hearts are not dismayed. Yeah, they're dismayed by the political aspects of it, by the promises that have not been kept, or the inability for leaders to actually bring about peace. But they're not dismayed by what God is doing. God has done so much more in these past 4 years than we have seen him do for myth. Denise is here. So I'll finish this up. Than we have seen him do for many, many years in the past. So I want to encourage you with that. Pray for Ukraine on this 4th year anniversary. And we appreciate your love and your care and your support.